presiding judge of RTC Branch 48, Masbate City. And at the same time, acting presiding judge of RTC Family Court Branch 3, Maribeles, Limay. And last August 8, 2024, I was designated as acting executive judge of Family Court of RTC Limay, Maribeles, Bataan. But prior to that, I have been in the government service for 38 years now. I rose from the ranks. I started as court stenographer in the judiciary. But, ma'am, I just would like to, I have a friend who asked me when I was working as a judge, when I had my medical examination in a hospital in our province, Albay. She asked me, because I was a working student actually before becoming a court stenographer. She asked me, what is your job? Sabi ko, he was the former doctor, College of Medicine in the school that I studied. He said, so you are, where are you now? Sabi ko, you are working in the court? Sabi ko, yes, I work in the court. As janitor? No, sabi ko, as judge. So you are from J to J, janitress to judge. And I have been a guest speaker in when I was a judge in the family court, in the first level court. I was invited to be guest speaker in all Women's Month every year. I was given the opportunity to talk about the rights of the women and children in Daraga, Albay, because I stayed in Daraga for almost 35 years. Ma'am, we are 10 in the family. And I was the only one who finished college education. My father was not able to even studied in grade 1. My mother is only a grade 2. And we are only tenant in our place in Masbate. And when my mother died when I was 12 years old, I was the one who watched her in her deathbed. And I told my mother that insofar as my college education, she should not worry because I will finish my education. And then she wake up, she opened her eyes, and after that she died. So that was a very terrible impact on my life. Then I recall that my father would sasaktan niya kami, lalo na kung wala kaming makakain. And they quarreled. My mother and my father would quarrel why my father was hurting us. But then, yun ang nakita ko na I have to change my life. I do not want to stay like that I have to look for a food. My parents would look for a food for us to eat. And that matters, that motivates me. Sabi, I do not want to have that kind of life. So, I worked as a domestic helper after in high school. And I have to wake up as early as 3 o'clock in the morning to prepare our food, to wash clothes of my teachers, just to pursue my high school. Then luckily, I was able to graduate in high school. In fact, that was the first time when my teacher gave me 500. That was the first time that I was able to buy a pair of shoes. My shoes then, I borrowed from my classmates, including my skirts. It's only, I have to wash every now and then, every day I have to wash because I do not want to have that kind of life after graduation in high school. One of my principal, Mrs. Philistine Sabra, told me that in Legazpi City, there is a school, a medical school, who are accepting working students. I applied. With 50 pesos, I sumakay po ako sa bangka, sa pamboat, going to Legazpi City. When I arrived in Legazpi City, it was already dark time, so I sleep in the terminal. Then, the following morning, I applied as a working student. We are 57 or 67, I think, applying as working students in that medical school, Ago Medical and Educational Center, Bicol Christian College of Medicine. The only medical school in Bicol region. And after 6 months, we are only 7 remaining as working students. According to Dr. Alita, the president, the daughter of the president, matira ang matibay. I have to work in that school. I have to clean the entire courtrooms. I have to wake up as early as 3 o'clock because 7 o'clock, kailangan pumasok na sa school. But hindi yun hadlang sa amin. I was able to graduate with the highest honors. I was asked by Dr. Alita to work as secretary of the president. I recall when I was in college, the president would tell me, Abi, gawin mo ito. Pag hindi mo magawa, ayoko nang makikita ang pagmumukha mo. Of course, I would stand and cry, but the driver of the president would say, Abi, di ba gusto mo, you want to finish your education. If you go to Masbate, you will not be able to finish your education. He said, never mind if he is angry, as long as you are not angry. So, I applied as court stenographer for 11 years. You know how hard to become a court stenographer, taking down notes of all words that came into the mouth of lawyers, witnesses, judge, everything. So it is very hard for me. Sabi ko, I have to enroll College of Law. And aside from that, I was able to witness Dr. Alita carrying a thick book. I said, what is that? Oh, he's enrolling. Dr. Alita Ago is the president of the school now, but his father is the president. But sabi ko, oh. So I tried to enroll College of Law. I said to myself, I do not want to retire as court stenographer. My salary then was only 3,000 pesos. And being the only one who finished and has a work in the judiciary, all my nephews and nieces, some of my nephews and nieces who are interested to continue their study, they stayed with me. So we are 17 actually in the house with my salary, which was only 3,000. I have to sell dried fish. I have to sell kangkong, gulay, that is I have to wake up 3 o'clock and then go to the market and sell dried fish. 10 pesos, 5 pesos, and everything. But God is so great. When I passed the bar, I was promoted as branch clerk of court in the court where I was a court stenographer for 5 years. Then I applied in the PNP as Chief of the Internal Affairs Division of the Philippine National Police Region 5, Legazpi City. We are 57 applicants, and I was the last one who applied, and I was taken. You know, when I was 6 years old, during martial law then, I would, I fear, especially when I see a lot of police officers with full of guns in the trucks passing by in front of our house. Then all of a sudden, I was appointed as the Chief of the Legal Affairs Division to holding the administrative cases, and the penalty would be suspension, demotion, and dismissal from the service, from police officer 1 to police superintendent. Well, life is great, you know. When I applied in as a judge after 3 years in the PNP, I was interviewed by Honorable Justice, who is part of the GBC. Then she said, "You are holding a very powerful position. Why do you want to become a judge?" I thought, Justice, it's not really very powerful. The only consolation that I had is that when I entered in the camp, all the police officers are smiling at me. Then I was appointed. Luckily, I was appointed as presiding judge in the first level court in Daraga. While in Daraga, I was designated as acting presiding judge in another province. It will take 4 hours if you board in a boat or big vessel in crossing the island. I was holding 7 municipalities actually. So I will leave in the early morning. Again, 3 o'clock you have to go to the port. Then board in the port. Then after 4 hours you will arrive, or 2.5 hours if you pass by in San Andres. Then immediately when I arrive, I have to conduct hearings in one of the courts. Then return back to the Vira. The following day, you have to wake up again very early. Then travel again to another court that will take 2 hours. Then return back again to Bira. Then the following day, go to another court again. Then I stayed there for 7 years. After that, when the judge in another first level court in Legazpi City was promoted, I was again, in addition to my duty as presiding judge of Daraga, I was again designated as acting presiding judge of MTCC Branch 3, Legazpi City. I worked there for 3 years. Then, when another judge was promoted in the RTC in Coron, Palawan, Judge Cesar, I was again designated by the court to handle his cases in another province, Sorsogon. So I really do not complain, you know. In fact, some of my colleagues would say, "Abi, are you crazy? Why you accept this kind of case?" Court, sabi ko, no. It is actually, I enjoyed my job. Then luckily, I was promoted to RTC. RTC Branch 48, Masbate City. That is my home province. It is an answered prayer. When I arrived, in 2 years' time, I was able to dispose 960 cases in the family. After 2 years in the province of Masbate as family court judge, I was designated by the Supreme Court as acting presiding judge of Calamba Family Court. The reason because there was a threat on my life. But you know, God has a reason I could say that God, there must be a reason why 5 accused actually from jump they jumped from the rehabilitation and detention center in Masbate. And according to one of the jail guards, the reason why one of the accused, the reason why is that to kill me. Sabi ko, how could wala naman akong ginawa, no? Except to hear cases and to speedy dispose these cases. But I wrote a letter to the Honorable Supreme Court Justice Mondo through Honorable Justice Maidas Marquez. And immediately, Justice Marquez called me, Judge, you pack up your things. So that was the reason why I was transferred in Calamba, family court. And while in Calamba, we have a lot of cases in Calamba. And in 2 years' time, we were able to dispose 1,100 cases. Thanks to all my hardworking staff. I feel humbled myself, di ba? Kasi bawat isa naman talaga ay may kanya-kanyang kwento. Siguro medyo iba lang yung kwento ko kasi I rose from the ranks. I am a self-made person. I work so hard for me to strive and to become a judge. So, I want everyone to be inspired of my story. Actually, when I traveled, while in Masbate, I have thanks to some of my PWJA members. They helped me in our campaign during the pandemic to help those who are in the far-flung areas. We donated face masks, alcohol, everything, thanks to Judge Ave. Actually, we have a group of family PWJA members, and I was considering that I was the regional director of Region 5 of the PWJA. So I handled all these outreach programs. We give books to children. We have a food feeding program which share use clothing actually. Then all of a sudden we are very happy. And when they were some of the children were able to view my HerStory in the rated K by Corina Sanchez from Janitress to Judge. And they really do not know me, but when they heard my name, they would embrace me and ask to have a picture for me. Oh, we are inspired judge. We want to become a lawyer and a judge also.
Yes.
So I feel so humbled that I was able to be an instrument for their dreams to come. The legacy that I would like to leave, especially, life is so short. I would always say, every time that I encountered a lot of trials, I would always pray. I said, Lord, help me to remember that I will pass this world but once. Any good thing, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any fellow creature, let we do it now, let we not differ or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. Amen. That is the very legacy that I want to share with any woman who wants to become a judge, who wants to rise from adversity. Na kung ano ang magagawa natin ngayon, gawin na natin. Huwag na natin hintayin yung bukas kasi baka hindi na yung darating. We have a lot of friends in the judiciary. They just sleep. Masakit ho ang ulo, din hindi na sila nagising. I have a very close friend of mine. Natulog lang siya. Pagising niya, patay na yung asawa niya. Di ba? So, we have to give actually, kung ano man ang magagawa natin, kung ano man ang dapat natin sabihin. If you could say, I love you, embrace each and every one of us until na, you are so great, you are so beautiful today, we have to tell that. Because we really do not know what would be our future.